We're friggin' nobodies. We're Jacob and Noah. We're friggin' nobodies. Welcome to our show. We're friggin' nobodies. We don't know much. We're friggin' nobodies. We're old and out of touch.
Figure it out. Are we on?
Okay, I think we're on. Looks like we got feed. We're all good.
I'm Noel.
Jacob.
That's
I'm Jacob. I'm still Jacob. No, friggin' nobodies. That's who we are.
Yeah, together.
Okay,
I'll go first.
Okay, you go
I got
first.
less.
Yeah,
I
go
got
ahead.
less.
You got less.
So today's this episode is why are modern movies so terrible?
Yeah, they suck.
They really do. And here's what I have to say on that.
Okay.
There was a time in my life when I watched a gross number of movies in a year, and by gross I mean 144. Pretty good, eh? Terrible jokes aside, I spent so much damn money on video rentals, repertory theaters, and regular theaters, just sneaking from one movie into the next. I love movies then and now, and find I have trouble sitting through anything made in the last decade because modern movies are terrible. When I say terrible, suppose I should be a little more specific, because for the most part, anything that gets into theaters or onto most streaming networks, they're all put together competently. They're clean, they look good, they sound good, and all the parts are where they should be. And they are as boring as all get out. They feel like a string quartet version of pop songs that I grew up with. All the parts are there, but it's kind of soulless and by the numbers. Hell, even the stinkers are competent enough to lack life. The Sharknado series, which I won't mention by name, is too self-aware to be funny, because it feels like someone summarizing a comedian's set in point form. In short, I suppose I'm saying that terrible art is safe, formulaic, and by extension, derivative. Modern movies are terrible because they stick to what worked in the past and fail to advance the art beyond its initial beginnings, except whatever nonsense the CGI department can concoct. The visuals are nice, but they don't make up for a bad script, or having to watch a Dracula reboot. But this time there's an underground city of Draculas, and you get to watch them merge into a giant rampaging Lady Dracula. And then that's all CGI. And then Gal Gadot will voice it for you. Well, I'm not sure that I'm blaming the corporate hierarchy of Hollywood, test audiences with no ability to discern pablum from poop, or risk-averse studios unwilling to gamble $150 million on a movie visionary whose name doesn't rhyme with Scarantino. I want to blame someone, though, for these gilded, vacuous offerings that squat in my brain for a couple hours and leaving me feeling, well, nothing. It's not even time well spent.
Bravo. You stole all my thunder there, that's for sure.
Well, it was short.
But yeah, it was short. Okay, I'm going to try to get through this quickly anyways. Good Lord, where do I start? Okay, films and TV have become dull. Every goddamn show these days is a soap opera. I have to watch them all in a row to make any sense of it. Do I really need 86 hours of The Sopranos? My God, I'm sure it's great, but what in those 86 hours is explored that I can't get from 2 to 3 decent films in the same genre? Say, Godfather, Goodfellas, and Miller's Crossing. Hell, throw it on The Waterfront if you like. The time event investment for the TV show alone is monstrous. Sure, all these new shows and films, they're well shot, well acted. After 100 years of cinema, we know all the formulas. Lighting is a science, acting is a science, script writing is a science, the music is a science. All the composers know what kind of melody to play to make you cry, laugh, cheer. These elements aren't really art anymore. Everyone knows the techniques that work now, and it's just a matter of following the formula. There is very little, if anything, left to discover. Nowhere left to go. Every film I see is just a run by numbers. It's gotten to the point where I'd rather just watch bad 80s fantasy and sci-fi films because they screw it up all the time. They make choices I don't understand. And for some reason, that makes it more compelling than this formulaic slop that's chucked in front of me every day. When was the last time we saw a true auteur in film? Wes Anderson is 56 years old now.
Is he really?
Yeah, 56.
Good Lord.
Who's the young gun these days? That Taika Waititi, the New Zealander? He's 49. The Safdie brothers at 39 and 41? Who, really, are they that much different than Michael Mann? What are they doing? Even these people are kind of using tricks we've seen before. They have a unique vision, I suppose, but where do we go from here? Look, for example, the novel is long dead. We all know this. It's a template for a story, but the tricks have all been done. You can't have a new James Joyce or Louis Ferdinand Céline anymore. Books are just a vehicle for stories, and all the tricks that you can do have been explored. Cinema is reaching that point now, and there isn't much left. Now, you can say I'm old. Sure, That's true. I can't deny it. But that doesn't change the fact that the medium is also old. They start to lose their luster after a while. No medium can continue to be fresh. Once you have explored it, there isn't much left to do to tell other than just tell new stories. And the how of the stories becomes really predictable. Even the charm of celebrity is gone. With the introduction of the internet and social media, everyone's a star. I think it was Norm Macdonald who said, in the future, everyone will be anonymous for 15 minutes. It's a joke reversal of the famous Warhol line.
Thanks for that.
What is celebrity in a world where some guy making videos in his basement can be just as famous as Tom Cruise? Although not us.
No.
Art is most palpable, most exciting, most risky on the frontiers. No one cares who stepped on the moon the 12th time. It's the first time that gets us going. No one cares if you can paint like Leonardo da Vinci now. You had to do it then, which is why photography killed realism in painting. Once the camera came along, you had to change. And even the camera is dead now. The Keynesian bargain we've made with technology changes the landscape faster than we can keep up. And cinema is no longer relevant. It's just for popcorn.
I don't know the Safdie brothers.
Oh, Uncut Gems.
Oh, okay, yeah. I did
Yeah.
see that.
You know them.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought when I watched it.
Yeah.
It was okay.
It's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of films that are just
there was
okay.
a ton of people raving about it. I watched it. I think it's all right.
Yeah, it's not that different than what Michael Mann did back
No.
in the day.
No, and I mean, I can't see it being a big improvement on, the Flowers one with Will Ferrell.
No goddamn clue.
What was the movie he was in that was so good?
Well, he was in the one where he's a character in a book who realizes he's...
I never saw it, but
Yeah.
people raved about
Yeah,
that.
the concept's okay, and the
Yeah.
film's all right. But the problem with those concept films is, and I've seen a bunch of these. I saw an AI one with Johnny Depp recently where he becomes a computer.
You mean Lawnmower Man?
I know, it was a lot more, man. Who cares what it was called? The thing is, what happens is the concept was kind of interesting, but they didn't know where to go with it. So it starts off kind of good, and the first half of the film's kind of interesting as you see it happening. Then you get to the last half of the film, and they're like, oh, we clearly got to wrap this up. And they do, but
Yeah.
it loses everything that was interesting about it
Like Ex
in the
Machina.
wrap-up.
Did you watch Ex Machina?
Yeah.
It was fine.
I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a good time with that film.
Yeah. I think I used to tell my daughter and all of my friends that I don't care what movie or show you're recommending, and told you this, I don't care if you tell me the ending, because how you tell the story is far more important.
Yes.
But I find it harder and harder to do that in film because how you tell the story has become very derivative. Like if it's in a novel, and that I think that's where I got it from. If it's in a novel, how you tell the story, it's just words. Mm-hmm. So if you are great at your craft, that's your story. Your description, how it works, the storytelling, that's all you have. Mm-hmm. With film, they made everything look kind of the same. And I've always complained that, they just don't have a ton of great stories or storytellers. But it might be because it's hard to have a style like Wes Anderson. Mm-hmm. I can't believe he's 53.
56, I think it was.
Or Quentin Tarantino.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, where you have a visual style that doesn't get dry.
Yeah, it's going to get dry after a while. There's no doubt about
Yes.
that.
Like, I don't know if you got into Tom Robbins.
Yeah, the writer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know his stuff.
Yeah, he's got a very specific style.
He's got a very specific style.
But
sure.
his stories are all over the map. Like, he can tell whatever he wants, and it's one creator who gets to have a vision. You can't do that in film, especially not for $150 million.
Well, yeah, so people have done that in film, I would argue. There's auteurs who have a very specific way of telling stories that are unique to themselves. And that's fine. But the problem I'm having with it right now is that every time I see a film, let's take a thing like Reacher. Have you seen Reacher, the TV show?
No.
Okay, so...
But I've seen 2 movies
I think you've seen more than 2 movies.
of Tom Cruise Reacher.
Oh, yes, right. So those are... The lighting's better. Most things about them are better done. He doesn't look like the Reacher character from the books, but in a way, the movies are crafted a little better.
No, it's Tom Cruise.
But the issue with the Reacher TV show is that it's crafted okay. Like, it's not bad. I would compare it to like what Xena, Sinbad, and Hercules were back in the 90s and early 2000s. Right? They're not good, but if you're just wasting time on a Sunday afternoon, they're kind of pleasant.
They had a Sinbad show?
They had a Sinbad. It was my favorite one of the bunch.
Didn't even know it existed.
That was my favorite one of the
I
three.
didn't watch any of them.
None of them are good, but they were fun. And they were a little clumsy, right? Which was kind of the charm about it. But Reacher is like that today, except it's hyper competent, right? So it's sort of dull. Like they don't really make mistakes with the script. They don't really make mistakes with the lighting or the sound or the acting. Everybody knows what they're doing, and they do a decent job. There's plenty of good people to choose from to play these roles.
Sounds really boring.
It's okay.
I've seen clips of it on the internet.
And every time I sit down and watch something like this, whether it's a TV show or a film, these modern things, I just end up getting bored. Now, part of it is we all have these stupid devices in our hands, and it's hard not to watch a film on your couch like this, playing some game, right? So that's definitely part of it, and that's on us.
I've often looked on my phone while I'm watching a movie. Does this get any better?
Does it just tell you no?
Yeah. It's effectively what I'm
I
asking.
could even give a shit about the DEI thing people complain about.
Can you pass me a bottle over?
I can open a bottle for you. Do you have
I have a bottle right here.
Let's open your beer.
Perfect. Thanks.
It's fine.
This was brought to you by beer.
There you go.
Thank you.
Yep.
Cheers.
Italian beer, apparently. Yeah, cheers. Okay. And I love old movies. Like I love film in general, right? I love Coen Brothers. I love.
I love film a lot, and going. So I was trying to explain to someone that Lucille Ball showed up with the Stooges. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you ever watched any of the Stooges.
Yeah, I've watched some Stooges.
The first 4 episodes of the Stooges are terrible until they get the rhythm, and it loses nothing by translation through time. Like I watch it, and Lucille Ball, you see her on screen, you go, that lady needs to be on screen.
Well, it's slapsticks, which is pretty robust.
It's robust, but
it's always funny to watch a guy get kicked in the nuts.
You have to get the timing right, and these guys have it down perfectly. They're idiots.
Yeah.
And nothing is lost, because you go back and watch some of the old Groucho Marx, and you realize, those are kind of tried and true jokes. But those are jokes, and people have been stealing from them for ages. But the Stooges are still funny. So I think a lot of the battle for at least modern films is they've gotten away from people who are ugly.
Oh God, I have huge complaints about that. Everyone looks good.
Who has a ton of talent. They're just looking for hot people, and if they don't have talent, well, you can CGI it later.
It's like Seinfeld versus Friends.
Yeah.
Seinfeld's kind of interesting, and there's lots of character actors who aren't good-looking people, but they look interesting. Friends replaces all of the interesting people with vaguely hot people.
Yes.
Which is just dull after a while. They start to just all look the same. I have the same problem with them. Like, I vastly prefer practical effects over CGI at this point in time. It just, as soon as you can do anything, it kind of becomes dull. Once you have limitations, you're forced to create a specific look.
I was just going to say, once you have limitations, you have to become creative.
Yes, the necessity is the mother of invention.
You're already in the film. They're asking you to suspend disbelief by the fact that you're watching a film. So therefore, you should be able to get away with anything. Like, I don't know if you watched The Prisoner.
Yeah, I love The Prisoner.
Did you watch the reboot?
No.
I did.
I was not interested in watching the reboot.
I watched that.
I kind of forgot there was one.
It was truly terrible. Like, they missed the point entirely. It was the same with Total Recall. The issue that I
just watched the original recently. It's Paul Verhoeven.
Yeah, I know.
What a run! Like he had that RoboCop and Starship Troopers
and Showgirls.
Yeah, Showgirls. He might have gone downhill, but at least it's funny.
It wasn't. Showgirls was a blast. I love the hell out of that movie. It was insane.
It's fun. But those three are amazing. What a run he had, and strange movies that in some ways shouldn't work. But that's kind of the charm of them. Like I watched the Barbarian Brothers, whatever the hell that stupid movie was called. The Arena, She.
You watch Eric the Viking?
And when I'm on Amazon Prime now, and by the way, streaming really makes you not value what you're watching anymore because you don't go out and choose the thing and bring it home in this special box and put it in, and like it loses all of its charm. You have less investment because you can turn it off and pick another thing right away.
Well, that's the thing. Is you don't sit. It's like listening to an album. When it may not be the same, but when I pick an album, I'll pick an album. I'll get 2 songs in. I go, I can't be bothered. But I'm picking random stuff off of a streaming service, not a streaming service, but a quasi-legal downloading service. So
I'm subscribed to Spotify or whatever the hell it is, and I try to actually just listen to complete albums still.
Yes.
And there's something about listening to a complete. Now we're getting off topic. Of
Okay,
film,
yeah,
but
back to movies. Right? So dude, I think the point
we'll have a
was,
special episode about why music sucks, and I'm going to be really good at that one.
I'll be all right. But for the movie, there isn't the investment, as you say, because you can just turn it off. Or worse, you can just immediately skip to the scene that you want.
Yeah.
So I find that with the streaming services, if there's a movie that I like, I will just go through and watch the bits that I like to kill 20 minutes, and do that
Yeah.
with 2 or 3 movies.
Yeah. I've done that kind of thing in the past. Well, I used to just put on Fear and Loathing just for fun in the background. And I would only get through the first 45 minutes or so before I had to go to work. And I just loved having it on.
I did that with Lebowski. I've seen that movie.
Lebowski's an easy movie to watch
Just
repeatedly.
put it in the background.
It's not my favorite Coen Brothers movie,
No.
but I love it. That'd be Barton Fink. Barton.
It's
I
tough.
think that's a masterpiece.
It's tough to put Lebowski on at the house with your family as well.
Yeah,
There's a couple cuss words in there.
I watched it with my son, and there was a few parts I was not happy that I had. After I put it on, I thought, well, it probably wasn't so wise.
Yeah. So now I know we said we were going to get around to this earlier, but I'm going to just jump right to it. I want to believe that modern movies are so terrible because I've seen enough movies that I know all the tricks.
Yes.
And it can't move me the way that it used to.
Yes,
But I don't know that that's true.
I hinted at that in my write-up
I was watching.
by saying that the medium is also old. It's
Yes.
not just me.
So there is something to the fact that if it's well told, it transcends. Like I watched the first 3 minutes of one of the new Ghostbusters movies.
Yeah, the Afterlife or something.
think that's
the one
it.
with Paul Rudd.
Yeah, the first 3 minutes of it, I was blown away. I can't believe this. This is going to be so good. It's amazing because it's all is silent. It's all just told with story. Mm-hmm. There's a light in the mountain. Could be, don't know what kind it is. There's a vehicle running away. There's clearly a device. There's a chase. Something goes wrong. It was great until Egon opened up the drawer and took out a PKE meter. And I thought, what's that? No, this is just turning into... And then it just turned into a crappy Ghostbusters movie. I got 10 minutes in and
We've
shut
got
up.
a bunch of those. Only the first one's any good.
I know, but the first 3 minutes of that film, it had me. It grabbed me. It's like, yes, this is going to be great. I can't wait. This is horrifying.
I think the word novelty gets a bad rap a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Because it is important to be there first. It is important to be wowed by something new. So like the first Ghostbusters is kind of fun because you've never heard of this kind of idea before. It's hard to keep that going.
It is. But there's also something to be said of perfecting it. I mean, Wes Anderson did Rushmore, and you could see the beginnings of his stylings in Rushmore.
Yeah.
And then, did he do Tannenbaum's next?
Was Bottle Rocket before that?
I don't think he did Bottle Rocket.
No.
I don't think so. I think they were out at the same time, Rushmore and Bottle Rocket.
Okay.
But I'm not sure.
I thought he did. I thought he did both of those and then Royal Tenenbaums.
But yeah.
Which I still is my favorite Wes Anderson film.
He
still to this
found
day.
his style. It was beautiful. And then he made another couple movies in that style. And then it kind of stagnates after a while. Like
and
Zizou was good.
I still
enjoyed it.
like his new movies. They're fine.
Yes.
Every time I see one, I'm
But-
generally happy throughout.
My point being that you can be the first and novel, but there is something to be said for perfecting that.
Yes. It's a short time span, though.
Yes.
And
Like he can do an homage to it as well, but
he cleaned up his style nicely. Like, well, look at Gilliam. Jabberwocky, you can see the beginnings of his style. I don't love it, but it's
No.
it's good. It's okay. But Brazil, he knocks it out of the park. He never really does that again.
no, there was a beautiful scene in the one where the house sank, whatever that was.
I don't know. There's Fisher King is afterwards. Baron Munchausen is
No,
afterwards.
it was newer than that. It was a house and a prairie that just sort of...
the one with Christoph. Oh, Tideland.
Tideland.
That's a gorgeous film.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
I like
beautiful.
that film. It bombed, and it bombed probably deservedly. Although I did like it. Jennifer Tilly's phenomenal in it.
Yeah, she's usually pretty good.
Yeah,
I want ugly actors again.
but she doesn't get a chance to show off her skills.
No.
Yeah, well, like because he uses Catherine Hellman, whatever her name is.
From Who's the Boss?
Yeah. She's the mother
Yeah,
in
Mona.
Brazil, and she's also in the Fear and Loathing film as well.
Who'd she play in Fear and Loathing?
I can't remember now. Maybe it's someone in the courtroom scene. Maybe, but she's got such a distinct face,
Yeah.
a character face. Somebody, it might have been Norm again. I hate to bring up. No, I don't hate to bring up Norm again. I love him. The guy's awesome. Boom, boom. But nonetheless, he had mentioned something about how impressions were easier to do in Rich Little's day because everybody had these really distinct voices.
Yes.
And now they all kind of talk the
and
same.
distinct mannerisms.
Yeah, and everyone's kind of talking the same now. Now, part of that is we've all been living on the same continent for a long time, and we've all sort of
Acclimatized.
acclimatized to this system. But it's also that we don't search out those people. We don't look for them. You know?
No. Like, I don't know when you're going to get another Steve Buscemi.
Yeah, I don't see anybody.
Or even a
young
Willem Dafoe. Although
doing
Willem
that
Dafoe's
anymore.
not a bad-looking dude, but he's very, very distinctive.
It's distinctive, and I miss that in film. I miss that. I miss people doing their own stunts. And I don't mean like the big stunts like Tom Cruise jumping off a cliff or whatever the hell.
Just even a fake punch here and there would be good.
You know, I mean things like Buster Keaton and Jackie Chan and people that are doing all kinds of wacky stunts and making everything interesting. I'm not going to walk through this gate. I'm going to bounce off this wall, that wall, jump over it, land on the other side. Just a little scene. But
Yeah.
it makes that little scene way more interesting. You know, and
I heard that Sylvester Stallone paid $1 million out of his own pocket to get some guy to ride on a cable between two airplanes.
huh. For what film was that?
I don't know. But I'd heard that, and I thought that's not a bad gig if you have a parachute.
Tarantino's got, and I know you already brought him up before, and he's not a director that I love, but I like him. He's consistent.
And he has his own style, and the studios will let him put out whatever he wants.
Whatever he wants, which helps a lot.
There's so little of that.
He's got a philosophy that I kind of like. If you couldn't capture it on film in that day, it's not there. No point. I'm not doing it.
Right.
So he won't do green screen or any of that kind of stuff. Now he toyed with it.
That's
by
why he doesn't
directing
make
it.
dinosaur movies.
Directing a scene in Sin City or whatever, so he toyed with that idea, but he won't do it in his own films. He has to capture it on screen that day.
Yeah.
And I like that. I really, there's something, the stakes are higher when I'm watching. When I see Jackie Chan moving along on a motorcycle and drive on a little tiny wall, then jump off that wall and land on some cars and then spin around and a truck just barely misses him, I know that really happened. And so I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm excited. But when I see the movie version of Wanted, which was a decent comic by, what's his name? Was it Mark Miller that wrote that or Grant Morrison? I think it was Mark Miller.
It was Mark Miller.
Anyways, when I saw the movie version of that by that Russian director that...
Yeah, I've seen it.
I
Yeah.
can't remember his name now, but he made those vampire movies that were okay.
Oh, the
Night Watch or
Night
something.
Watch, yeah.
Something like
Night
that.
Watch, Day Watch, and I don't know if there's a third one.
I don't know. They were okay. But when I saw him do his version of Wanted, there was all these crazy car stunts and everything. But I knew it wasn't real. It was like watching a video game. I didn't even give a shit. And it's, my God, speaking of video games,
We're not.
I don't need video game movies. I
No.
don't need Minecraft. I don't need
Yeah,
Mario
we don't
Brothers.
need movie video games either. Yeah. Keep your peanut butter out of my chocolate.
Yeah, both of them are doing it. Yeah, a bunch of video games think they're films. Really. Like, I'm going to watch Red Dead Redemption over Sergio Leone or Corbucci. No, I'm not going to do that.
How
Oh
would
my
he have?
God, 22 minutes already?
Jeez, this is long. Okay,
Oh, my God.
Anyway, modern movies are terrible.
Yeah, I think we proved it, man. Like,
Yeah.
it's like 2 + 2 = modern movies suck, right?
Yeah. And there's some good old ones.
There's
You
some
know
good
what-
old ones,
You know what I
yeah.
didn't actually mention?
Watch Lestrada.
I was going to say this. I just need to get this in quick.
I love Lestrada.
If you watch old movies, you can go watch Lassie, Tintin.
There's some bad ones.
There's a million black and white films that are just garbage to sit through. They're horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many of them.
Because they're learning.
Yes.
And that's what's exciting,
And
though.
when you're starting your watching movies and appreciating it in the 90s, 80s, and you're developing your own taste, well, then you can go back and look at 70 years of film and find out what the best ones are and condense it all into 5 years of great films. I think we need to give the film industry another 50 years so we can condense that down into, maybe 5 years of good films.
Yeah, if I was to pick my favorite films of all time, I don't think I'd pick anything from the last 10 years.
No, it's hard. It's got to sit.
You know?
It's got to sit for a while.
Yeah, generally it does. It does. Anyways, go watch old films. Watch
Yeah.
Lestrada. Watch everything Louis Buñuel made. Watch,
Not everything Louis Buñuel made.
Yeah, well, a lot of it.
Yeah, a lot of it, sure.
A lot of it. Phantom of Liberty, Obscure Object of Desire. Watch that Archie Baldo de Cruz one where the guy falls in love with the mannequin.
I didn't like
that one's
Obscure
cool.
Object Desire.
Yeah, there's good reasons. It's a strange film.
No, that's not.
Not super enjoyable all the way through, but it's interesting at
Yeah,
least.
watch some Marx Brothers. They're great.
Didn't you just slag on them?
No, I said that they'd been stolen from. If you want to find out where all these jokes come from,
Yeah,
watch
yeah,
them.
fair enough. Anyways,
Oh gosh.
check out the full history. We got 25 minutes. This is getting too long.
All right.
So rock and roll.
Yeah. You there, filmmakers, make better films.
Yeah, or maybe find a new medium. Maybe it's just done. Like,
You there, filmmakers, drop what you're doing. Find a new medium. That's not helpful.
yeah, it might be. Okay,
Right.
later.
Take care, eh?
We proved it. Bye.